There's just so much crap when it comes to Jeffree Star.
Hey guys, editing Tarrah here. So I just want to say before we get into the video that I made the video you're about to watch before Shane Dawson released all of his Twitter statements that are now deleted, which I made a whole video on that. I will link it down below. What I'm saying now, before all the new stuff with Jeffree and Shane came out, so keep that in mind. All right, let's get into the video, guys.
This video is going to be something. Let's just put it that way. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here and you didn't already, my name is Tarrah and thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, if you like my vibe, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell down below so you don't miss out on any of my new uploads. Oh, you guys, we gotta talk. We need to talk, all right? Probably shouldn't have decided to suck on a lollipop right now. I'm gonna put that back there. As you guys know, I've always been a huge supporter of Jeffree Star here on my channel and just in general. I know a lot of people say like, oh, I followed him since the MySpace days, but like I did and I have. I started following Jeffree Star when I was about probably 13 to 16, when MySpace was really, really big. I'm 30 now. Jeffree's actually only a few years older than me. And I thought at the time that he was like really cool, really edgy. I was always into all different types of music. Fun fact, I used to want to be a songwriter and take music seriously when I was younger, and that kind of didn't go anywhere. Really into his music, his style. I really liked his makeup that he wore. I loved his colored hair. I just really loved a lot of the things that he put out at that time. I remember, I forget, there was some kind of controversy back in the MySpace days. It might have even had to do with that website that everybody's talking about. I remember, what is the name of that website? I can't remember the name of the website right now, but it's basically like a revenge porn website. There's tons of really good videos about Jeffree being connected to that website. I will link a few of my favorite ones down below. So I remember that happening and then me kind of being like, oh, do I really want to support somebody like this? You know, back in those days, people were a lot more edgier. I know I said and did things that I'm really glad aren't on the internet. I was very ignorant, dumb, young. But, you know, you kind of see all of these people on the internet, Jeffree being one of them, having this behavior, and they come off like really cool. So as a young child or a teenager, you're very impressionable and like you see that as really cool. But I think the revenge porn site and that whole situation really like did it for me. So I stopped following Jeffree for a few years. And then when I heard he came out with his cosmetic brand, I was so excited, you guys. Like, I thought that was so awesome. I purchased the first liquid lipsticks that he ever made, which was his first launch. I've purchased all of his eyeshadow palettes that he's ever created, except for his last two. I did not purchase those, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I kind of wanted to give you guys my back history with being a fan of Jeffree Star. I've really thoroughly enjoyed Jeffree Star's makeup. I knew that Jeffree Star had a past. I knew that he did a lot of really bad things on the internet, like I said, back in that day. But I always kind of like chalked it up to be, well, that was back then. And I remember those days. I remember the type of music that I listened to, Jeffree Star being one of them. Like I said, I always chalked it up to be, well, he has a past. Yes, we all have a past, you know. And I forget who said it, but somebody said it in a video before that they feel like people support Jeffree Star and they forgive him for all of his bad behavior, even current bad behavior, because somewhere inside of them they can relate to that behavior and those actions that he's doing and things that he's saying. And I totally agree with that, because I feel like I was relating to the fact that like, oh, I've been a shitty person, oh, I've done bad things. So I can understand how Jeffree Star did all those bad things, but he's grown as a person, he's a better person now. And all that stuff happened with Dramageddon, Laura Lee. I totally took Jeffree Star's side. I think a lot of us took Jeffree Star's side, especially after Laura Lee's horrible apology for her racist tweets.
I want to talk to you guys in this video. It's been so vile and hurtful.
I mean, that's just going to go down in YouTube history as the most epic apology ever, and not in a good way either. That's like the biggest epic meme apology ever on YouTube. I took Jeffree Star's side over Laura Lee and Manny. I stopped watching their content and I even stopped purchasing their products for a while. I actually haven't purchased anything from Laura since all of that stuff has happened, and I kind of feel bad now. When everything happened with Jeffree Star's racist stuff getting brought up again, I was like, okay, he already apologized for this. Why does this keep getting brought up? Like, we need to move on. I still wanted to support the makeup. I still wanted to support him. And then a lot of stuff just kept piling up. A lot of people in his life that are close to him saying that he still does say racist things. He still, you know, treats people of color differently. He's hiring security guards that were fired for saying racial slurs. I feel like he did use Cam and made him like the token black boy, and Cam feels this way as well. I will link Cam's video down below. His friend Tad came out and said that he is still using these terms. In Tad's video, he was saying that Jeffree was making fun of Trisha Paytas and making fun of Rich Lux, saying Rich Lux bought him the cheapest thing in the store. I do believe those were genuine jokes. I think with Jeffree's personality, he can come off kind of cold, and I feel like he has that very dry sense of humor. I'm not really worried about that type of shit.
I also want to say that Rich Lux has come forward and said that what Jeffree said about him didn't offend him, and that he just feels like that's part of his personality. Trisha Paytas has come forward and she's made contradicting statements. She has said in private DMs that it really affected her, and on her podcast she said that it affected her, but in other videos and other statements she said that it doesn't affect her, and she just feels that Cam should have never let her know that he said those things about her, because she feels that if somebody has said something mean about somebody, you shouldn't tell them. So I just want to let you guys know that.
I'm more worried about like the racial stuff, the way he manipulates people, the way he manipulated drama channels. Sanders Kennedy did a great video. Ashley Kyle did a great video. I'll link those down below as well. As far as the racist stuff, I really sat down with this and I was like, okay, you love a lot of Jeffree Star products, Tarrah. My favorite reds are made by Jeffree Star. My favorite palette that I reach for all the time is made by Jeffree Star. His glosses are amazing. So I was trying to think, like, do I separate the brand from the products because you really like the products? After Conspiracy launched, I just started feeling like really weird. Like I felt like we bought into the huge ad. And I also said this in my eyeshadow palette tag video. I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in watching that. But I just feel like we fell for the huge ad that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star played for us with the docuseries. I feel like they made us feel included and they just manipulated all of us. Like that whole series was one big manipulation by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. It painted a narrative. Also, all the stuff that's come out about Shane and Jeffree planning Dramageddon with poor James Charles. I do feel like there is a middle story. I feel like James isn't 100% telling the truth, and I feel like Jeffree isn't 100% telling the truth. I feel like there is something in the middle there. I feel like one day it will come out because I feel like everything always comes to light. So after I bought Conspiracy, like I was saying, I just started getting this really bad feeling. Stuff started coming out about Shane. When Jeffree started releasing other palettes, like the purple palette and then the cremated palette, I mentioned this also in my eyeshadow palette tag video, but when I was looking at some of Jeffree's eyeshadow palettes, I was kind of like, there really isn't much for people of color in these. Like somebody who's my skin tone, Jeffree's skin tone, these are great. These are, you know, they're good shadows. I mean, the quality is great, hands down. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that Jeffree Star Cosmetics quality isn't good, because it is good. But as far as like it being inclusive like they claim to be, I don't believe that. I thoroughly don't believe that. Another thing that really like put the little icing on the cake for me was the Chris Hansen interview. I actually did a whole live stream about my opinion on Jeffree Star going on the Chris Hansen show. I just feel like that was a huge PR stunt. I felt like if Jeffree really cared and really wanted to get the story out there about Davi Vanity, he would have made a video on his own platform. Why would you go to Chris Hansen? And then he had a tweet that he put out saying that he witnessed with his own eyes Davi Vanity being with underage girls. Jesse Slaughter, who now goes by Damien, who was horribly freaking bullied and, you know, sent death threats so bad that they just like left the internet. They've come forward and said that that's not true. Jeffree did know about them with Davi and about that whole situation. There are clips of Jay, Davi's band member, who was very close to Jeffree Star, saying that a mother was looking for their 15-year-old daughter on the tour bus. Like, there's no way that Jeffree didn't see anything. I have toured with small bands before, way back in the day, like 20 years old, 21. I only did it for like 3 months, but you all hang out. You hang out. You know, you're staying at hotels together, or you're staying on grounds together if you're doing like a festival type of thing in buses. You guys hang out. Like, you can't tell me any different. And then Jeffree always says that he doesn't drink alcohol or do drugs besides smoke pot. I don't believe that. I thoroughly don't believe that. There are so many photos of Jeffree Star back in the day with alcohol in his hand, sipping alcohol. But you don't drink alcohol. You've never drank alcohol. I don't know. There's just so many lies, contradictions, manipulation, racial slurs, racial talk. There's just so much stuff adding up. I've just made the decision that I cannot support Jeffree Star Cosmetics anymore. I just turned 30 at the end of last year. My birthday's November 25th. I'm a Sagittarius double Libra. What are you? Let me know. I want to know what you are. Now that I'm getting older, I just realized that, like, you can't really separate the makeup from the brand. And I really wanted to start like diving deep into certain brands and like their back history, because I feel like there's a lot of things that like happen and they get swept under the rug because another new like big thing happened. There's so many shady, shitty, awful things that so many brands, not just Jeffree Star Cosmetics, but so many brands have done, and we just forget about it. And then we think, oh, we'll give them another try. No, like, we need to really be thinking about these brands before we're putting our dollar bill y'alls into it. You know, I can't separate it. I can't. Between all the racial stuff, all the manipulation, the big PR stunt he pulled with the whole Davi Vanity situation. Oh, I wanted to mention this too. So, I saw that Jeffree Star, hold on, we need some water. I saw that Jeffree Star made drama alert the other night. I think it was last night. And people were saying that Jeffree lost 100,000 subscribers, and Keem was trying to say, no, he only lost 20,000 subscribers. But I want to say, I think that Jeffree Star was very calculated with his statement that he put on Twitter, like his apology statement. Because there are things that he left out of that statement. There are things that he did not address. And I feel like he contacted Keem because Keem heard that, you know, like, oh, or Keem reached out to him saying, I heard you lost 100,000 subscribers. Do you have a statement? How do I put this? I feel like Jeffree basically knew what he was going to put in his apology statement on Twitter, because he knew that if any like big outlets like Drama Alert, for instance, they only read his response or apology. They didn't dig into, you know, the video that Tad made, the video that Cameron made, the voice notes, Sanders Kennedy's voice notes. Sanders Kennedy has dropped so many voice notes that are absolutely disgusting and just paint Jeffree in the worst light. But because Jeffree didn't address any of that, none of that, you have Keemstar, aka Drama Alert, a huge channel in the millions, not talking about all this other shit that's out there, because Jeffree only addressed so much in his statement. And because Keem isn't like someone who's really big in the beauty world, he's not going to know that all this other stuff is out there unless he does his research. And let's face it, sometimes Keem just is not that interested in beauty news, so his research isn't the best. And that's not really his fault. That's not really his like genre anyways. He more or less covers, like, yes, pop culture, but like gaming type of stuff and commentary channel type of stuff. It was just like another nail in the coffin for me. It was just like, okay, I see how calculated you are. I see exactly what you're doing. I see that you know how to play the media the way that you want to play it. And you can also see that from his relationship with Sanders Kennedy, his relationship with Ashley Kyle, you know, and honestly, he might have a genuine friendship with Rich Lux. That might be a real friendship. I know some people came to my channel and have subscribed because you like Jeffree Star content. That, you know, that's why I didn't pick up the, I can't even remember the damn name of the palette, but the purple palette, and I didn't pick up Cremated. Also, I saw this thing on Facebook where it was literally a mock-up of, I forget if it was Home Depot, I think it was Home Depot, and it was their paint section of their grays and, you know, tans, and it basically looked like the Cremated palette copy and fucking pasted, dude. It's like, oh, I'm so original, I created an all red palette. It's been done oh, I'm so original. I'm the first one to create an all gray and white and black palette. No, it's been done, dude. In my opinion, the most unique palettes that he's made are Jawbreaker. Conspiracy's color story is pretty cool, but in all honesty, like I said before, most people couldn't use all of these shades, and a lot of these shades don't even work that well. Also, heads up, don't ever buy these because the lipsticks in here dry out in less than 6 months. This is like the biggest bullshit thing that he sells. This was the biggest waste of money ever for me. I know some of you guys have subscribed because you like Jeffree Star content and you enjoy me putting out Jeffree Star content, but it's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to sell some of my palettes and hopefully get some of my money back. I'm going to use up the liquid lipsticks that I have and glosses. I have more of these, but they're just in my backpack. I'm going to throw these damn things away because they're all fucking dried up and chalky. And from here on out, there's just not going to be any more Jeffree Star Cosmetics makeup content. Now, if something happens and I feel like I need to speak about it, then I will. But like I said before, there's just too much going on that I just can't turn a blind eye to it anymore. I just can't not pick up on those red flags. There's just way too much shit going on. I'm really interested in how you guys feel about this subject. I want to know if you guys were ever a Jeffree Star supporter. If you were and you're not now, what made you change your mind? Are you someone that can separate makeup from the brand? I feel where you're coming from if you are, because like I said, for so long I was that person, and I'm just now starting to realize that I can't do that. There's so many great indie brands and just brands out there in general that are great. They have great quality, and we should be shining a light to those brands and not focusing so much on these brands. Really quickly, I also realized on my eyeshadow palette tag video that I have a Juvia's Place palette that literally has all the same tones as this palette, just not the neutral tones. I really didn't even need this palette. I just fell into the freaking hype of it all. The big ad of it all, the big PR stunt of it all. I would also like to know if you're someone who has decided to forgive Jeffree and still support him. And I'm really curious, if you are a person of color, I would really love to know your feelings about this. Do you accept his apology? Do you think that he is growing and changing and trying to be a better person? Let me know. I really would love to just hear your feedback about this. I just feel like in my heart of hearts, I'm making the right decision. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or you can give it a thumbs down. That's all fine with me. At the end of the day, it's all engagement. And don't forget, if you like my vibe, don't forget to subscribe, and I really hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye!